think today's pop culture is intense, let me introduce you to the class of '86. We constantly talk about what's new, but history rhymes. To understand the magnitude of 2026, we have to look at the big 4-0. We are traveling back to 1986. It was a year of excess, of fear, and of massive cultural shifts. If you think today's pop culture is intense, let me introduce you to the class of '86. In May 1986, a movie called Top Gun was released. It wasn't just a movie about planes. It was a cultural reset for masculinity. Tom Cruise, the leather jacket, the aviators, the Kenny Loggins soundtrack. It was pure adrenaline on screen. It taught Hollywood that a movie could basically be a 2-hour music video. But it was also the year of Aliens. James Cameron proved that a sequel could actually be better than the original. Why does this matter today in 2026? Because Ellen Ripley, played by Sigourney Weaver, became the blueprint. She is the mother of every female action hero we have now. Without Ripley in 1986, there is no Katniss Everdeen. We are moving past the surface level of nostalgia and into the structural engineering of pop culture because 1986 was the year that laid the foundation for the global entertainment complex we navigate today. While American cinema was finding its footing between grit and fantasy, across the Pacific, a revolution was beginning that would take 40 years to fully conquer the West. On February 26, 1986, Toei Animation broadcast the very first episode of Dragon Ball in Japan. At the time, it was an adaptation of a popular manga, a martial arts fantasy loosely based on Journey to the West. Nobody could have predicted that 40 years later, the visual language of this show would dominate youth culture globally. In 2026, anime is not a niche. It is the default setting for animation, and it all traces back to Goku meeting Bulma in 1986. The pacing, the power scaling, the transformation tropes. Shonen anime as a global industry effectively starts its modern dominance here. Celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Dragon Ball anime is celebrating the moment Japanese soft power began its slow, inevitable march into the heart of Western pop culture. We see the influence of Toriyama's kinetic action lines in everything from modern Marvel movies to the storyboards of independent films. It was the year action became hyperkinetic. Simultaneously, the video game industry was quietly subverting gender norms in a way that wouldn't be fully appreciated until years later. In August 1986, Nintendo released Metroid. It was a dark, atmospheric sci-fi platformer heavily inspired by Ridley Scott's Alien aesthetics, but without the xenomorphs. It was isolating and difficult. But the cultural earthquake happened at the very end of the game. If you beat it fast enough, the protagonist, Samus Aran, removed her helmet, revealing that the toughest bounty hunter in the galaxy was a woman. In 1986, this was a nuclear revelation. It challenged the default assumption of the male gaze in gaming. 40 years later, as the industry continues to debate representation and inclusivity, Metroid stands as the silent monolith that did it first and did it without fanfare. It prioritized competence over gender, a lesson that 2026 media is still trying to learn. The moody, non-linear exploration of Metroid also birthed the Metroidvania genre, a style of game design that is currently experiencing a massive renaissance in the indie development scene of the mid-2020s. We have traversed a 40-year arc across the cultural timeline. We didn't just exhume the artifacts of 1986. We dissected the expectations for 2026, preparing for a world that is ready to reject the synthetic in favor of the raw. From the armored heroes of the past to the bioacoustic rebellion of the future, the pattern is clear. Culture doesn't just repeat, it rhymes. We are standing on the precipice of a new era of certified human art. The question isn't what you will consume next year, but whether you will be able to distinguish the soul from the simulation. We are here to help you make that distinction. We don't just watch the trends, we decode the signal in the noise. This is true pop media. The future is listening.